invite to deliver the keynote address Mr. Brijesh Dholakia, CEO of Hari Krishna Exports from Surat.
Good morning to one and all. Good morning to one and all. Youth is here, and I'm going to address to all of you. The only thing I'm going to share is the journey of mine when I was born to reach here on the stage. Mr. Martin asked me, did you address to 10,000 youth here? I said, I did not address, but I'm used to it because my uncle, Saujibai Dholakia, has been addressing, and I'm always with him like a shadow behind him, so I'm used to it. When I talk about my uncle, I will start the journey of our family, and then why did Daji called me here to end with the story. So first of all, my uncle, when he was 12-year-old, all the way from our village in Amreli district in Gujarat, came to Surat as a polisher because my grandfather and grandmother wanted all of us to be in Surat for whatever reason they wanted that work in the city. If you don't want to study, no problem, but you must go to city. And my uncle did not like to go to the city, but he stayed for 3 years, worked hard, and thought if I gather some money, my grandmother will ask him to stay back. But that they never ended because my grandmother gave him 3 targets that be a big man, be a good man, and have some fame in the society. Till day, we have been increasing our values and traditions in our company and family. And my uncle in 1992 started Hari Krishna Exports with all 3 brothers. So my father and my uncle, they are 4 brothers. And in second generation, we are 8 brothers, and I'm 5th one towards it. And as I mentioned, why am I here? We'll share in the story. So I'm only here to share our story and tradition and family values. After we started Hari Krishna Exports in 1992, my uncle and family thought, why can't we have our own charitable trust which could do good to the society? In 1996, we started our Hari Krishna Charitable Trust with promoting our society and community in terms of how can we help them. And we started educating to IAS officers, to the teachers, to the principals, giving back to the society. That was a small step towards contributing to the society. As we grown in our company and our employees, we were thinking, how can we do to our employees, because charity starts with our own family and our employees. So in 2014, you must have heard about a company in diamond industry giving away cars, houses, and jewelry, and that was the thought behind how can we have standard of living of our employees. And first, as Daji always says, you first think about your family and then to the society. So my uncle thought, why can't we have increase in standard of living of our employees? And I still remember in 2014, the average salary of our employees was 100,000 rupees per month. And when we thought that we want to give back in 2008, the average salary was 12,000 rupees. So my uncle not just thought about our own employees, but how can we give back in the society of industry that we live in, and competitors and others also had to increase the standard of living of all the diamantiers. My uncle himself was a polisher, so he knew what is the value of a diamond artisan, because those people who buy diamonds are much more richer, but the money doesn't go down the line beneath where the polishing happens, and similarly it's about agriculture. So my uncle thought, how can we give back to our employees and industry? When I talk about the second generation, we have a tradition in our company and family that when they graduate, because my father and they were only 4th grade, but second generation all did their MBAs and BBAs and graduates from UK and US. I thought differently to be with my uncle in Surat and my other uncle called Ganchamba in Mumbai. So I had studied with both of them together, and also in our journey of learning manufacturing is definitely there for 3 years training. And then I went to Mumbai for 4 years training, learning sales, manufacturing and IT. That's how we all have tradition to learn where our family belongs to. As simple as that, you must know your manufacturing processes because that's where your family had started with. No matter what business you want to go in, but you must learn manufacturing. That was the core thing that we must learn. I still remember a day in 2011 when I started my journey learning manufacturing. In 2 years down the line, I got engaged and my wife is sitting right here. The day when I went to the factory, I switched off my phone. I belong to the same youth. You all are sitting here, and without a phone in a single day, we can't live in. When the battery goes down, our heartbeats are increasing. In that world, I switched off my phone just to focus on the career that I was looking at. And after engagement, you all know, we cannot live without each other. That's the wording that we start with. But my wife appreciated that you want to focus on business. I'm fine with it. And all the weekends, I still remember, she used to come all the way where we were there with the families. After 7 years of training, so remember youth, I'm just here to share my experience, and whatever you think you can implement, definitely you should. I'm not here to advise. So down the line, 7 years of training, and then now I'm always with my uncle. Past 6 years, wherever he was for any event or for any occasion, he has never gone for he's like, I will go with my wife, my auntie, and we'll have a vacation, you do your own stuff. No. It's always been a day that I was always together wherever he was. And I'm just very feeling proud that the reason why I'm here also is because that I had always been with my uncle. I still remember 2 years back we were here and Daji just called my uncle and he showed him around. They both indulge in the activity that has passion towards giving back to the nature. And I want to share a small story. When Prime Minister of India inaugurated our facility in 2017, my uncle thought, we took 36 minutes of our nation. How can we say thank you to our Prime Minister? And my uncle thought, we will make one big lake in the village where there is scarcity of water. And again, in 4 months, my uncle worked hard in the degree of minus 45 and day and night 18 hours. There were many excavation and kind of a mining thing happening, but we made one lake in 4 months. And again in 4 months Prime Minister was supposed to come to our district, and my uncle said that I wrote a letter to you and the lake is ready. My uncle was so kind enough to invite Prime Minister again, and Prime Minister said yes, that okay, I will come. And in 4 months, Prime Minister again inaugurated a lake in the village where there is scarcity of water. My uncle took up a mission that I will make 100 lakes. Why I'm sharing this story is giving back to nature is always good, and nature gives you back in all the ways. Past 7 years, my uncle has worked hard, but beneath his heart, there was a ultimatum for him to start second generation taking over the responsibility and delegate the whole responsibility of the company to second generation. And my uncle Ganshambai, in 6 years he has never taken a single decision of the company, but company is running the same way. He feels that while he is working towards the nature, it's nature's responsibility to take care of the company. When I say why we are all gathered here, is also because we want to learn from each other, and that's why the main story starts now. Daji heard, how second generation get trained. I want to start again a story with my uncle always took, nephews or sons wherever they go because there was an English barrier. So when they used to go to exhibition of diamonds in UK or in Basel or in US, he always took us together. So my 3 elder brothers, when they were, just in high school, they went to Basel show happening in Switzerland. And they went to a restaurant, and since there was a language barrier, my brothers ordered all the food. And at the end of the day, everyone looks at the bill, same way my uncle did. And he said, "Why did you order papad here? I'm sure everyone knows what is papad." And there was a 3-pound papad, and my uncle did not scold at that moment. Uncle said, 3-pound papad we can have all day over in India if you had not ordered. But my uncle thought, we as in second generation never has to thought about money. It's not about that we did not care, but uncle always had papad and we ordered it. So my three elder brothers were, they did not know, that they had not supposed to order papad in London, rather they can eat in India all the time. My uncle thought, how can I teach the value of money, and how my uncle and they have grown up. So my uncle in 6 months got out to a program, and that's what I'm here to share with you after giving the background of our family and the company. My uncle asked the motivational speaker that he's thinking to send three brothers to a city where they have never gone, without giving any identity, with a limited money of only 500 rupees. This I'm sharing you story of 2003 and 4, so it's a long time back that this was happened. And the motivational speaker says that this will be great if you can implement, because I know while I'm sharing here, there was not many people who could implement. So in 2003, my uncle decided to send one of them to Pune, one of them to Jaipur, and one of them to Baroda. That was the first ever time my uncle thought that in second generation this could be a helpful story. So all the three brothers went. The conditions are such that they were only given 500 rupees. A train ticket, they did not know, where they were supposed to go. So when you get the ticket, you know which city are you going to go. With 1 month minimum, meaning 30 days that you have to live there. No identity, meaning you do not have to say that you belong to Hare Krishna group or Dulakya family. So kind of, we didn't know that time what to do, but these were the conditions that were given. And I will share what happened, next. So all three brothers came back and said that, when we went to high school or college, we never learned such values of what we could learn there. So rather than sharing their story, I would start with mine. So again, when I completed 12th, I was just about 18 years, and same thing, was asked to me, are you ready to go? And I was like, yeah, because I felt already that this is going to be tradition of the family that everyone has to go. So they just told me that next morning you have a flight to Bangalore, and after that you have to be there and come back by yourself. The only condition is that you get 500 rupees. I got a flight ticket because Bangalore was far, and they did not want it to miss 2 days of train. You do not have to give any identity. So day one, when I reached here in Bangalore, I didn't know that the airport and where I was supposed to go was far. I thought I will go to some of the ashram, and I felt Shri Shri ashram was very good, and I heard in the news about it. And when I thought about it, I didn't know that it is so far. All the way morning 6 o'clock I started. I reached there by bus, by train, and by rickshaw at evening 6 o'clock, because I had to save money how I go. So I took, lifts and everything by reaching there. Next morning I started, and I thought, there is always MG road in each city wherever we go. So I started going to MG road and looking from door to door to ask whether is there a vacancy or not. Couple of them told me, where is your CV? And at the age of 18 in 2008, I didn't know what is CV, what they were talking about. And I said, what do you need? And they were like, at least write down about yourself. And I went to cyber and computers, and I just tabbed about myself and take the printed of 10. So somewhere when I go to CCD, and they were like, come next Wednesday. And I did not have time to wait for next Wednesday. So I just came back by myself, and nobody took me as giving me a job. Of course, I'm saying it so peacefully right now, but there were cryings for more than a couple of days, because I never stayed by myself and asking for a job. Next day again I went. I did not succeed. Third day when I went to Subway, and they were like, we have a job, by the way, but it's a different area called Jayanagar. I still remember. I was like, wherever you want, I can, but I am needing job. So on the fourth day, I got a job in Subway, and I looked after where I can stay after 3 days in ashram. I found Jain ashram to be there, and every day I have to pay 100 rupees. So paying 100 rupees every day is also a hell of a task, because in my pocket it was only 500. I still remember I never had breakfast and dinner. The only thing I used to have is lunch of 18 rupees aloo parotha, and I used to request them, can you put a little bit of cheese? And I used to like cheese a lot. So this is how I stayed there. And after 7 days of Subway, every day I used to call my uncle, and I was like, uncle, I'm very fine, I think I'll complete my 30 days. He was like, okay, change the job. I was like, I'm just settled in, 7 days has gone, and you're asking to change the job, but I didn't know that you have to do 4 jobs in 4 weeks. So I was like, okay. So again, I went back, to the leads that I had. Someone said Wednesday, okay, let me go back. So the next job was at United Nations of Benetton. And at those points, they had discounted time zones where in morning 7 to 11 a.m. they had a discount. Also in the evening at 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And they need someone to fold the clothes because when there is discounts, everyone just opened up. So I still remember a day, the whole day from 7 to 11, I used to fold the clothes. And after 1 week, I did a job at Reebok, making wear shoes to different people who used to come there. And then 2 days of train ticket I took, and that is how I completed 31 days. This is what Daji liked a lot, because when you are taking interview, the companies like us in second generation, sometimes we do not know the values of employment and you do not care if someone is leaving. But right now, in all second generation, we have done this training, and when you are hiring, you will know about their difficulties time if they say they are coming from village, and you actually understand them. And someone has a hard time, you try to understand. You never want to fire someone just because they are not performing, but rather you will motivate them. So I still remember days when my uncle takes meeting every month and we have 6,000 employees. I was just telling Martin about it, that such gatherings are usual for us. And every month my uncle motivates each and every employee. And that is why my journey, as I mentioned, when I was born to here, why did I come all the way to address here, is the journey and the tradition and family values that we have. And that is why I'm here. But I want to mention something about why my uncle is known as he is. His name is Saujibai Dolakia, and after started the company and past 7 years he has been doing water conservation project. After finishing 75th lake, we mentioned to Prime Minister when we went there to give invitation card of my younger brother's wedding, he said, did you complete 75, you said? And he was shocked that a single man can do 75 lakes. Why can't each district? And if you remember, before a couple of years, Prime Minister mentioned to all the districts, I think the IS officer is also here, that you must make 70 lakes in your district. The journey did not finish. After receiving Padma Shri award at the 75th lake, my uncle thought this journey should continue. And right now we have completed 155 lakes, and the journey still continues as a river mission. And as I mentioned that I'm always with my uncle, and 2 years back the Prime Minister mentioned to my uncle that, are you not tired of doing this work? And my uncle said, no, since the motivation comes from top of the line, my uncle said, we will still continue. And Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel called my uncle that I know that you have a river conservation project and you are going to complete, because we had already finished 35 kilometers river conservation project. He said, I want to do 4 rivers in our state. My uncle was like, yeah, if you will, then we can do it. And coming out, uncle told me just one thing. We had 20 excavation machines, and my uncle said, if we have 100, we could complete 3 rivers. So this I'm talking about 2 years back. And we as a team started organizing. I still remember there are people here from World Bank, and there was a water conference happening last year after 46th year, and I went there when my younger son was supposed to born in US. When I visited a couple of times, I told my uncle, I see there is water conference happening in US, and he was like, yeah, so what? I was like, I think we can represent our foundation. And he said, but what is the use? I was like, I don't know what is the use, but the level at work that we do and what you are making the water conservation project, I feel the world should know. He's like, okay, if you think, you can go ahead. And I registered our foundation and did all the processes. Out of 728 organizations in the world, out of 29 were from India, and we were one of them. So in just 7 years, you think where we can reach if there is a will. And I met a girl called Kazaya. Why I'm sharing is because youth is here. At the age of 23, I invited her to all the way from America to Amreli. Amreli is a small district in Gujarat. I think we have 33 districts. The last number is our village. And she came all the way to see the water project, and she stayed there. So the past 2 years she is working with us, and as I mentioned that Chief Minister wanted 4 rivers. We are already started doing fourth river right now. When you see the Baroda has a flood over there, and Chief Minister called my uncle, can you work here? My uncle says the same thing what we did in our district, it could be replica everywhere. And if you remember, there was a flood last year in Junagadh district in Gujarat. In 1 year we cleaned, there was so much of sewage coming in, we deepen it, and it is within the city, so nobody can take a risk. But my uncle said, since we are doing for the nature, we shouldn't worry about it. So we never thought about social media, getting into the news is about bad news, and there is a lot going on. But my uncle said, let's do it. So last year we did it Junagadh River. This year we are going to start with Baroda River. Why I'm sharing all this is, my uncle took up a mission now to revive rivers wherever we can. And today morning while having breakfast, delegates are sitting here and we're also talking, rivers needs to be regenerated here in India, and I think that's what the farmer needs. I started with I'm going to share my story, and I'm just sharing you all the way from Surat to here, just thinking about how can we give back. So whenever the entrepreneurs or the businessmen or wherever you work for someone, think about it, how can we help others, and that's what we are here to learn in Kanha as well. I'm thankful to Daji just to call up and say, can you come here and share the story? I was like, yeah, definitely. One of my brothers will definitely come. And, for 2 weeks we were just waiting to hear from uncle, who should it go? So when I say that uncle picked up me, that you can go and share your story, because out of 8 brothers, I'm the 5th one in the family, and 4 elder brothers and 3 younger brothers. I'm always with my uncle, and he thought I could share the story, and that's why I'm here. But I have always tried giving and balancing to 8 brothers, because 4 are elders, so you have to convince them, and 3 are younger, so you shouldn't order them. Rather, how can you help all the 8 brothers? That has been my target always, and I think that's why I'm here. So I wanted to share a small story about our family and our company. Thank you patiently listening to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for sharing your story and the story of your family. It has been most inspirational for all of us, and especially our young friends, I'm sure. Knowing that building a family and a work culture based on intrinsic human values is the only way to harmony and success, that was most moving and truly inspiring. It was a delight to learn and understand that success is meaningful only when that success comes for the community and society as well as the family, and that can come through hard work and efforts. We thank you, sir. We thank all our respected guests on the dais for their inspiring and moving words for all of us today. I now invite Dr. Nivedita Shreyans, Program Convener for Rising with Kindness, to please come and felicitate our guests on the dais. Let us appreciate the presence of our honored guests and their contributions with a huge round of applause. We thank our esteemed guests for their presence here. The fundamental principle of the Heartfulness Way is meditation, and it helps us to go deep within and lead us to the source of kindness itself, which lies in the heart. So let us now walk through an experiential session of heartfulness meditation, which will be led by Mr. Kambiz. I now invite him to the dais to conduct the meditation session for us. Like yesterday, we will first go through a short process of heartfulness relaxation. As the body relaxes, the mind is able to settle down, and we are able to move deeper into the heart and move to deeper states of meditation. So let us all prepare ourselves for the relaxation, followed directly by meditation. Let us all sit comfortably. Before we begin, we request everyone present here to please switch off your mobile phones. Let us ensure that our mobile phones are switched off. Let us sit in an easy and comfortable position. Gently close our eyes. Take a deep breath in and slowly let go. With each breath, let us find our body relaxing more and more. Bring your awareness to both feet. Wiggle your toes and feel them relax. We invite the healing energy from Mother Earth to enter the body through the feet, helping each part of the body become relaxed. Feel the relaxation in the soles of the feet. Ankles, both feet becoming relaxed. Invite the energy to rise upwards through the legs. Relaxing the calf muscles. Both knees. Upper legs. Hips and waist. The lower body is now relaxed. Gently bring your awareness to the lower back area. Feel the presence of the energy relax the lower back. Upper back. The entire back. Gently bring your awareness to the abdominal area. Feel the presence of the energy. Relax every part, every muscle of the abdominal area. Feel the energy rise to the chest. Relaxing the entire chest area. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Feel them becoming loose and relaxed, almost melting away. Invite the energy to move into the arms. Relaxing the upper arms. Elbows and forearms. Both hands. Down to the fingertips. Both arms are now relaxed. The energy is now rising through the neck, relaxing the neck muscles. Moving to the face. Feel the deep relaxation in the jaw muscles. Cheeks. Mouth and tongue. Nose and ears. The eyes. Forehead and temples. to the top of the head. The entire body is now relaxed. Gently scan your body from the toes to the top of the head. If you feel any tightness in any part, gently invite the healing energy to relax that part. The mind is now settled. Gently bring your awareness to your heart. The source of divine light is already present within the heart. It is attracting our attention inwards, towards itself. We are going deeper into the source of the light in the heart. If you find your awareness drifting to other thoughts, simply let them be. Bring your attention back to the heart, reminding yourself that you are meditating on the source of the light in the heart. With a prayerful feeling, please start meditation. That's all. Let us remain with our eyes silently closed for a few more moments. Observe the condition and the feeling in the heart. Be with it for a couple of minutes. Let us make an intention to remain connected to this feeling of the heart throughout the day as we go about our activities. Whenever you feel ready, you may gently open your eyes. This connection to the heart and to the source within the heart brings about the feelings, the qualities of kindness, of compassion, and so many more noble qualities in a very natural way. We are very happy to share with one and all that we have now amongst us, gracing the second day of Rising with Kindness, our esteemed and honorable guests. We have with us now Honorable Shri Uttam Kumar Reddy ji, who is the Minister for Irrigation and Civil Supplies, Government of Telangana, and Shri Veeralapalli Shankar ji, who is the Honorable MLA for Shadnagar. They are here with us now, and we await their presence here on the dais. Let us welcome Shri Uttam Kumar Reddy ji, Honorable Minister for Irrigation and Civil Supplies, Government of Telangana. We are also very happy to welcome Shri Veeralapalli Shankar ji, Honorable MLA from Shadnagar. It is an absolute honor to have their gracious presence with us on the second day of Rising with Kindness, the second edition of the International Youth Seminar here at Kanha Shanti Vanam. We are very grateful to them for having graced this occasion with their august presence. I now request Dr. Nivedita Shreyans, Program Convener Rising with Kindness, to please felicitate our honorable guests today. Let us honor the presence of our esteemed guests with a big round of applause. It is truly a momentous occasion where we have the esteemed presence of the Minister and the Honorable MLA with us here at Kanha, Shanti, Vanam. We thank you, sirs, for your presence with us. I now respectfully invite Shri Uttam Kumar Reddy ji, Honorable Minister for Irrigation and Civil Supplies, Government of Telangana, to address all of us.
Friends, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be with you today. The Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Revanth Reddy, was to come and address this gathering, but he was tied up in some emergency issues. So you can say that I am substituting on his behalf. At the outset, I must say I'm very, very impressed by the campus and the kind of programs that are being done. It's truly mind-boggling. Honestly, I did not have much knowledge of this place, though I've heard of Ramchandra Mission and their work over the last few years, but this particular center and the remarkable work that is being done here and the programs being done here is an eye-opener for me. And I'm sure the way this campus, the programs, and the dedication and the commitment with which the people running this organization and the programs, truly in the world this would be one of the most outstanding places and outstanding programs. And I'm so glad for all of you, and I think you're all very lucky and fortunate to be participating in this program. I'm told it's a 3-day program, and today is the International Peace Day, and you're having this program in that connection. Just as a matter of interest, human interest for all of you, I should also on this occasion share some of my own life experiences, because most of you would normally put politicians into one kind of a bracket in a particular mindset, and I'm very different from that. I did my initial schooling in a government school sponsored by a public sector company by the name BHEL, where my father was working. And when we were studying, after 11th class, the All India recruitment, should I say, or selection for the National Defence Academy would take place. So from a very young age, we grew up in a very patriotic family upbringing and background, and our school atmosphere also was tuned to that. So after 11th class, we appeared for an All India UPSC exam, Union Public Service Commission exam, for the National Defence Academy, NDA it's called, based in Pune. For those of you who are not familiar with what is NDA, it is the most premier military academy in the world. The equivalent in England is the West Point Military Academy, and in the US is the Sandhurst Military Academy. In India, military officers, or those who become military officers in the future, of all three services, Army, Navy and Air Force, are trained together for 3 years in all three services. It's a very, very premier, very high quality military training institute where we do both military training and we do graduation from JNU. JNU Delhi gives us the degrees you do BSc or BA from NDA, and we graduate from there. And it is a matter of irony that I am a former military fighter pilot, and we are talking of on the International Peace Day. So after the training, Tri-Services training in the National Defence Academy, NDA, where we are trained in all three services, Army, Air Force and Navy, we are selected for our respective services, and I was selected for the Indian Air Force, and I went on to become a pilot in the Indian Air Force, for Indian Air Force. And Indian Air Force again has three streams. As a fighter pilot, we fly the most modern aircraft in the world to defend the motherland. And then there is a transport aircraft which are used to transport manpower and material. And then there are helicopter pilots. So I was selected to become a fighter pilot, and I was initially went on to train on the MiG-21s, which is a supersonic fighter aircraft. Supersonic means the aircraft flies at a speed faster than sound, faster than 1 Mach. 1 Mach is the speed of sound. And these fighter aircraft fly faster than the speed of sound. To give you a comparison, the aircraft that now we fly to Delhi or Bombay, or those of you who have come from abroad on these aircraft, the speed is about 0.7, 0.8 Mach. These fighter aircraft fly at about 2 to 3 times the speed of sound. So these are used to defend the country in times of peace and war. And then I was selected to go to Russia and train on the MiG-23 military aircraft, military fighter aircraft. I spent some time in Russia on training on this fighter aircraft, and then we brought those aircraft back to India. I purchased those aircraft, and I was on the Pakistan and China borders for many years in our frontline combat squadrons and involved in several operational missions. I also had a very serious accident when I was flying in the Air Force. Due to some reasons, the aircraft exploded in the air. It's a single pilot aircraft. The aircraft exploded in the air, and we leave the aircraft by a process called ejection. It's like you're rocketed out of the aircraft. So I had a miraculous escape, and then you come down by parachute. And for me to recover from the accident, I was posted to the office of the President of India, and I served with two Presidents of India, President R. Venkatraman, President of India, and President Shankar Dayal Sharma, President of India, totally with them for about 6.5 years. And one fine day I decided that the best forum to do public service in India, though most people outside think that politics is a bad place and all politicians are, I don't know if you should use the word, are bad characters, but I came into politics from a very elite service, and while working with the President of India, I thought I must contribute my bit to improving public life in India and to contribute whatever I can for the serving the poorest of the poor and the weakest of the weak sections of society. So I resigned from when I was working with the President of India and came into politics, and then I became an MLA from a place called Kodad in Nalgonda district. Then I became consecutively 6 terms as an MLA, elected for 6 times. I was also in the earlier government, Congress government, I was the Minister for Housing and Urban Development, where we did the largest housing program for the poor and the weaker sections ever in the world. We used to do 10 to 12 lakh houses a year. I was a Minister for Housing and Urban Development, and then subsequently the state got divided and I came into Telangana state. After 6 terms as MLA, I was elected as a member of parliament. I was a member of the last Lok Sabha till 6 months back, and I was a member of the parliamentary committees on defense, energy and such like, made some contribution to running of the government of India, our own humble way. And then I came back into the state politics, got elected again, and now I am the Minister for Irrigation, Food and Civil Supplies in the state. I was also the President of the Congress Party for the state for a very long time, for about 6.5 years. I'm just giving you this varied background. It's of some human interest. You know, normally you'll find any politician coming, they're of a different background, and I've just been fortunate that God has given me an opportunity to serve in various ways, to serve as a soldier for the country, to serve in the highest office of the land, and to serve again now in another capacity. I'm a deeply spiritual person, and while I may not visit the temple and I may not pray every day too, but I'm a deeply devout Hindu. I believe in God, I believe in prayer, and I try to mold my life around that. And I'm very, very impressed with the work being done by your mission and by your center. And it's unfortunate that I did not know about this earlier. You people are doing remarkably well. I mean, this is just fantastic work that you're doing here. And the program that you're participating in, if I was invited, I would participate in your program too. Maybe the organizers and this center people who run it, if they invite me, I'd like to myself participate in certain programs. And today being an International Peace Day, you're doing a big program for this, and I must express some concerns about mine regarding the situation in the world globally now. It should concern us all that mankind now in 21st century, firstly, I believe that mankind is largely responsible for all the major problems on the earth. Whether it is pollution, or whether it is ecological degradation, or many species getting wiped out over a period of time. It is what Mahatma Gandhi said, there's enough for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed on our planet. So we all need to work for, sustaining the earth, the planet as we know it. And the international situation and the way we are going now, globally it should be alarming for all of us that a situation of confrontation, a situation of warlike situation seems to be happening in more and more places in the world. It is very unfortunate. I mean, in the year 2024, we should be expecting that mankind would learn to live more peacefully and more harmoniously with each other. But it appears that there are more and more flashpoints developing all over the world where there is intolerance for others' points of view or intolerance for others' beliefs. And this should be a matter that should seriously concern all of us. And I'm sure your center, your thought process, your ideology, your beliefs, and the large number being, going through some kind of an orientation or spending some time here will help globally in sustaining in the world a peaceful and a harmonious atmosphere for everybody. I congratulate the Guruji and everybody else who's running this wonderful, beautiful establishment, this place. I really wish I had more time to spend with you people. And for any of you who are from here or who have come from other places, I can assure you on behalf of the Chief Minister and of our government, we will do whatever we can to support your center, to support your activities, and we think you're a great institution and you should grow more and more to global standards and be a landmark institution for the kind of activity you're doing in spirituality, meditation, in spreading harmony in the world, and a pollution-free world. I deeply appreciate, and I wish you all the very best. Good luck. God bless.
Thank you very much, sir. We are grateful to you for your gracious and kind words. We are also very inspired by your sharing of your story from being an Air Force pilot to then moving into the world of politics, serving the leaders of the nation, and now being in this capacity to serve society. We are very grateful to you for your august presence here. And we hope that our youth that is present here and also joining us live will gain inspiration from the stories that have been shared here and move them to becoming leaders of the world, taking the world forward to peace and harmony. We once again thank both our esteemed guests for their gracious presence here with us today, and we wish them all the best. We welcome them again and again to Kanha Shanti Vanam to come and be a part of us whenever you wish. Thank you. With this, we come to a pause where the first half of the proceedings of the morning come to a conclusion. For the remaining proceedings of the morning session, I now hand over to Ms. Hema.
Dear students,
and a very good morning to all present here. At the outset, we wish everyone present here in Kanha Shanti Vanam and those joining us live from across the world a very happy International Day of Peace. It is our most honored privilege to welcome to Day 2 of Rising with Kindness 2024, the International Youth Seminar, Mr. Martin Razor, Senior Vice President, South Asia from World Bank. We are also very happy to welcome Dr. Hamdan Al-Shayer, Deputy Chairman of Zayed International Foundation for Environment from the United Arab Emirates. We also welcome Mr. Brijesh Dholakia, CEO of Hari Krishna Exports from Surat. A warm welcome to you. We are also delighted to welcome to Day 2 of Rising with Kindness our respected guests present with us today. We welcome Ms. Jennifer Larson, U.S. Consul General. We also welcome Mr. Shekhar Kapoor, renowned filmmaker and the Director of International Film Festival of India. We heartily welcome Mr. Sushil Ram, Advisor Youth Policy at the Commonwealth Secretariat from London. We welcome Ms. Paula from UNCCD, and we also heartily welcome Dr. R.C. Agarwal, Deputy Director, ICAR. We welcome our honored guests, delegates of the seminar, and dear friends. We are celebrating kindness and compassion in this summit, and today we also celebrate peace on this International Day of Peace. The Rising with Kindness International Youth Seminar has attracted students and youth from all over the country and the world to be inspired, to celebrate compassion and value empathy and leading to social responsibility. We hope and pray that by celebrating and nurturing these noble qualities of a heart-centered life, we would be able to build the future of humanity. So we now begin the proceedings of today morning's session of the second day of the summit. I respectfully invite Mr. Martin Razor, Senior Vice President, South Asia from World Bank, to deliver the keynote address.
Namaste. Good morning. This is, I think, the largest group of people that I've ever addressed, and I feel quite humbled. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak to you on the International Day of Peace. I am a development professional. I dedicated my life to working with countries, with their governments, with the private sector, and with civil society to improve the living conditions of all people on the planet. How did I choose that path? Let me say a few words about that. In 1988, I had the opportunity to visit Brazil. I spent 4 months in the country. I arrived not knowing a single word of the language, and I stayed in a very humble, in Portuguese they call it favela, on the outskirts of São Paulo, working with street children. And I was amazed by their energy, by their hopes, by their aspirations, by their music. And I decided when I came back to my home country that I wanted to study how to make those aspirations come true, and I chose the field of development. And then a year later, in 1989, another event happened that profoundly influenced my life's trajectory. The wall separating the two Germanys came down.